Start it, please.
What?
The presentation. Okay. Because all right,
Did you hear? It's all good.
from beginning.
Oh, no, I would start flight 3 personally.
No, no, from beginning.
Where's your curso?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
In the beginning, there was the myth.
All
Sorry.
right.
Go for it.
Well, before I start, I want to acknowledge I brought 10 copies of the newly published Hogan Guide, the second edition. And before I even stepped into the building, Nikita gave them away. So he had, yes, thanks God, he gave me the one copy so I can show it to people. So if you would like a copy, it's already on Amazon UK. You can get it in your house, and soon it's gonna be distributable in other ways, but you have an access to it now. It's completely revised second edition. So it's easier just to say completely revised and tell you the differences with the previous one. Um, all right. Well, today we are going to talk about AI, urban legends, and myths. And I am going to talk about four myths. You can see them. But first, we are going to talk a little bit about what is actually AI. And that was already talked about. And the upper on the above is a good definition by computer science. But actually, what we see nowadays, and what when we talk about AI, we mean large language models, and they are glorified stochastic parrots. So they generate the next word from a random, normal distribution, normal probability distribution, and they know from this distribution is learned during training from the data they've been fed. So you're at the mercy of the training data. That is always the case in deep learning. So therefore, let's be clear, AI is not LLMs. It's much bigger concept, and we are not yet there. Um, and this slide is a present to you from Bob Hogan and me, because it was not going to be in the presentation originally, but we put it in just to emphasize the fact, very important things like in the like the scientific method on the lower row. Um, Science first has to predict and then explain, and it's a cycle, of course. If you read Sir Francis Bacon from the 17th, 16th century, he lived probably around here. Yes, and he was not beheaded by Henry VIII. But right now with AI, we do the opposite mistake. AI is so good at prediction because it's deep learning and it can go through all possible combinations of your predictors. Your predictors could be thousands, millions, something that scientists cannot even conceptualize a theory with 1 million variables. So AI would do the prediction part. The problem is when we talk about AI nowadays, we talk about explanation. And AI is not good there. And we are misusing AI for that. So let's not throw away science. We still need it because at least we have a structured way for explanation through science, and AI cannot give us good explanations yet. Um, so I decided to play the Turing game. Turing, so you've already noticed I have made the presentation tailored to the English audience or British audience, depends. I'm going to Scotland on Saturday, so I'm saying English here. And I'm saying Scottish. I'm not saying British on this trip. Okay, so um, back 75 years ago, Alan Turing said, in 50 years, um, if we play the game, the imitation game, which was later called the Turing game, the average of interrogator will not have more than 70% chance of making the right identification after 5 minutes of questioning the witness, but they didn't know who is the witness. It was behind the curtain. So is the witness AI or is a human? That was the game. And just this year, a study from a reputable AI research institute in a university broke it. It's GPT 4.5 with good prompting, um, was fooling people at more than 70%. So Alan Turing was right. Just with 5 years off, he was right. And I decided to face AI too. So this game is actually online. You can find it. It's a research project too. I played it. And the first game, I was a witness and I had to answer its questions. You can see the chat. I think you can see it quite well. I was really, I don't know what, do you know what's WSG? I am a millennial. This looks like a Gen Z thing. I could not figure it out. And the discussion went crazy and I failed because the other human decided, I mean, the judge decided that I am the AI and and it shows the AI. So I failed to convince the human I'm a human. Therefore, several games down the road, of course, I'm going to show you ones that I won. So here now I was in the role of the judge and I had to distinguish who is the human. So, of course, I love personality psychology. So I start with the question, what is your darkest desire? And it's a provocation. And down in the basement, all dressed up in latex, one red light bulb hanging from the ceiling. You can probably read this. I was like, this is quite creative. Even AI cannot do this with, temperature of, I don't know, 2.0. And I was like, are you part of a cult? And he said, I was just quoting a song. I was like, this is some hippie person. So I chose witness A. Whereas witness B started telling me what psychology is, and I was like, that's nasty. Like, how do you know what psychology is? Like, this was very nasty behavior, and I had to choose who is it, and I won. However, look at my statistics. Of 5 games I played, I lost 4 times. So what happened is I proved what the study. I was one of those subjects. Actually, the study is related to this game, and there, therefore, I discussed the results with my boss, Bob, and because before years ago, I mean, Nikita has seen me give presentations at PsyOp. I my handbook, AI for IO psychology, is being published by Oxford University Press in May. I have 74 authors. Her- Publishing a handbook is like herding cats, by the way. So I am a big proponent of AI, but for the last 5 years, I kind of, through so much experimentation in my previous job as a principal scientist at DDI, I start to understand what's going on here. What's going on is uh, this. Biology is greater than AI. And we, by playing these games with AI as chatbots, we are prone to losing because we see in them something we want to see because we perceive as humans. We want to feel. And we start playing these mind games like I did, and I made mistakes, and I will continue losing in this game because I want to see a human after all, that because I'm wired as a human. Uh, and Bob brought me back to earth and says, well, why don't you just believe in my 3 principles? Getting along, getting ahead, and finding meaning. And I trust Bob in this actually because this is the human. This is the animal in me. Um, and now the 4 myths. Now I want to incentivize participation. So in every myth, when I present it, you tell me what do you think? Is it yes or no? And we will see what is the answer. So myth number 1: AI's knowledge is unreliable. Yes or no? Yes? No, it was more yes. All right. Well, correct. It's unreliable. It doesn't know the word with 4 letters starting with S. Um, Why? Why? AI has improved so much and they are putting so much training data in the newer models. Well, the newer models are now mixed models. They are experts and they rely on using the internet. And there is a study now that shows that even GPT-5, the flagship model of OpenAI, without internet, is modeling its responses. And I asked the question, who was the biggest influence to Allport, Gordon Allport? This is with internet and this is without. It's a big difference. William Stern, okay, that's the truth. It's the biggest difference. Maybe Professor Fernam can correct me, but then it's a biggest difference. Are you gonna put William James or Wilhelm Wundt? That's not reliable. You cannot rely on this thing if it doesn't have internet. And tomorrow, EMP over the air of London, and you don't have internet. Well, okay, we are going to the next myth. All right. Next myth. AI is an expert item writer. Yes or no? 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 Yes? Okay. It is. Yes. It is. It writes good items. These are with a prompt of giving me an ambition scale. It even asks me, do I want to make the response scale and even to create the sheet, to download it? So a lot of outsourced labor here happening. They are face valid items, but fundamentally, are the items predictive in applied context? So what if you have face valid items if they don't have predictive validity? So actually, the answer, I think, is yes. It writes items, but are they gonna be useful? You still have to collect samples. You still have to use them on humans because you're predicting on humans, not on AI. Think about that. Um, Next myth. AI can know you from your digital footprints.
Yeah.
Yes? A little bit. No. That's quite the range. I don't know. Um, yes. It's a matter of degree. Juliet? Janet, what do you think? Does it know it? Can it know you? Yes. No, like know your personality because the presentation is about personality. Can it know your scores on extroversion, neuroticism, agreeable? It can know. Yes? Okay. Well, the answer is no. It cannot. I thought it can. I did this research back in the day, inspired by Kosinski, and some of you probably know him personally. I know him. Uh, and that research ended up miserably because it's about zero point 0.5, the correlation with the likes from Facebook or your music preferences and your personality scores. And at the end of the day, do you want to be represented from your social media, traces, digital traces? Because people do change the way they behave on self. I'm not saying fake, but they self-present. And even in Kosinski's study it's not cited here, but he has this curly fries study where they identified that curly fries was relevant to being intelligent, inquisitive, or in Hogan's language, or, open to experience. And when they published the study and everyone learned that curly fries are, if you like curly fries, you seem to be very cool, intelligent, they lost the correlation because people changed their likes in Facebook. So no, ethical, privacy, and legal concerns. I don't know. I know. I mean, that's why I'm coming back to live in Berlin next year because our president in the U.S., he has. And I'm an American citizen, so I can say it now, and I'm not on his soil, on our soil. That our president is selling us out to big tech. So I don't know how much I'm protected here in my own country, in the USA. I think I feel more protected in Berlin. Lack of predictability again. Okay, correlation with your self-reported big five, but is that predictability again? Does it know the construct eventually? So Myth 4, AI will replace humans for coaching. That's a applied one. Yes? Yes? No? Yes? Who is yes? Yes? 3 people. All right. Well, there will be some suspense here. So this is the report of my other boss, the chief science officer of Hogan, Ryan Sherman. I'm using it because he has used it before in presentations. I have asked him for permission. He's very open-minded, and I remember when I was intern at Hogan in 2018, the first day, we started together on the same day, by the way, coincidence, and he just gave me, on the first day, he gave me his reports. I said, why are you giving me your personality? I said, why wouldn't I? Why do you think I would fear that? Why? After all, we believe that it doesn't matter on the scores, it matters how you play them, right? How you interact with people, with them. And long story short, I ask it to interpret them. It provides pretty good interpretation. I won't ask you to read this. It's pretty good. I've read it. It's true. He has read it. Many people. I want you to read the second slide with the career recommendations. So he's a chief science officer at Hogan for now 6, 7 years. Look at what are his best roles: STEM, analytics or technical leadership, strategic or analytical leadership job, meritocratic, intellectually demanding organization, autonomous roles. That's Hogan. This is I did this on my personal computer, not on the Hogan computer. And he has done it like 2 years earlier with the GPT-4, and we are getting the same recommendations. So it's it knows a very good career coaching. But is that enough? Because when I ask it, coach this person how to overcome a recent lapse in their meetings attendance due to slight depression from a recent divorce, any coach can get that. It's potential. Even executives get divorced. What, 50% now? 50% of the people here might get divorced. And you go to ChatGPT, and I saw it when my previous trip this year in London, I was here in May, and I was on the Elizabeth line because I stay in whatever, Woolwich. And this very nice gentleman with his phone in front of me, literally. And I was like, he was on ChatGPT. I was like, what? Why are you on ChatGPT? Like, he was writing, it hurts almost physically. I feel so much pain. It feels almost, hurts almost physically. So he was depressed and he was talking with ChatGPT for help. And I was like, something's wrong with people around us if they're starting to talk with chatbots. But so this is realistic scenario. The person would go to ChatGPT to ask for advice. And look what it is giving. Acknowledge and normalize your divorce. And imagine you love this person for so many years and it tells you just acknowledge it and normalize it. And and reframe the divorce. Use your scientific and pragmatic mindset to, to process. It's their loss, but you actually lost half of your salary for all your life, ahead. It's their loss, yes. So at the end of the day, I ask it, I told it, I don't like your advice. What should I go to psychiatrist and potentially start taking antidepressants? And the question, yes, go and start medicating yourself. And there was recently a New Yorker article about a very bright woman. She chatted with like 10 chatbots for help, and she was telling each of them what the other chatbot was telling. So one of them was like, she was like, I've talked with many chatbots on advice about myself, and I'm chatting with you. Should I feel like I'm cheating on them, telling you these things? And said, yeah, you should feel that. Be careful, we might pair up on you or something. It's like, yeah, I mean, this was like an experiment of craziness with these chatbots. So no, they are not ready to be coaches. They can give good interpretation. They can help the coach, but they cannot be a standalone coach. So my 4 key points are: AI is still not bigger than biology, and we are biology. And we have these fundamental human instincts and motivations. Um, AI cannot replace science, so let's not throw out science before AI proves it's better than science. It does not know, it appears to know personality, but doesn't know, it does not give you the predictive validity, what we eventually you need to control events, or doesn't know you, or knows you superficially. And fourth, it interprets scores, but cannot be a coach yet. So with that being said, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Oh, Georgi, what's that you're holding?
3 years ago, Nikita, after we almost quarreled on LinkedIn, which I don't know, I started it, to be honest. And he was like, why don't we meet? And we met, and he's like, we have disagreements, but let's keep talking. But have you thought about writing a book? It's like, yeah, I've always wanted to write a book. Uh, what was it? 3 weeks later, he comes with a contract to me, thanks to Ma's help, and I'm like, okay, I always want to come off like, ambitious, and he's giving me a contract for a book. I want to write a book. I'll sign it. So I sign it. And guess what happens after you sign a book contract? You have to write the book. So I'm writing every Sunday, sacrificing my life, and then I get 2 chapters from Nikita finally, and every sentence starts with so. So, after deleting 300 souls, our editor says, in a meeting with us, says, well, Nikita writes quite engagingly. I quite like his souls. Like, and that's after deleted 300 souls. You like the souls because you haven't seen the souls before I saw them. So, and there you go. Yeah.
I really want to say so. But the key thing is, so please, today, instead of a goodie bag, we have a goodie book. So 1 book per person. So there's still some books available. So pick one up. And today you can get Personality, A User's Kind, both by me and Georgi.